Hello everyone, and today this is a very exclusive video to answer some of the questions we always get via messages and calls, and we receive these questions repeatedly. So we were thinking to answer by a video, so all the audience can watch the video and try to understand these questions. And I believe that this is something crucial for many people since we are getting these questions frequently. So what are the things that we are actually going to cover in this video? Mainly to cover about entry requirements, what are the level of studies specific students can getting into or get admission into. And next thing we are going to cover about the universities that are having intakes, the upcoming intakes for Malaysia. And the next thing we are going to cover about the costing. And we are also going to touch a little bit about postgraduate studies, those who are looking to study masters and PhD, the scholarship availability for the postgraduates. So if you're a student looking to go study abroad or study Malaysia, you are in the right place. Keep watching this video. I hope end of this video can give you some clarity to your journey. Thank you. Hi, this is Agape Education Malaysia. We are a placement center doing admission support, visa services, and university placement for students, those who want to come and study in Malaysia. So today's video, like I mentioned before, we are going to answer some of the crucial questions. The first thing, we are actually going to start with the entry requirements. Stay tuned. All right. To start with, Malaysia offers 5 levels of education for the students, starting from foundation, which is considered as pre-university, diploma, degree, masters, and PhD. So these are the main 5 levels of studies Malaysia do offer for international students. So each and every level have their own specific entry requirements. So we are going to answer the entry requirement first. So starting from foundation. Foundation program is considered as pre-university qualification. So those who are coming from O-level or IGCSE can be entitled for foundation. However, Malaysia do require to have minimum 5 credits for foundation programs. So there are 5 the routes they can actually take of 5 study pathways the student can consider. They're starting from foundation in business, arts, engineering, science, and also IT. So these are some of the pathways that students can consider. So each and every the study path, they have their own specific requirement. When it comes to engineering and when it comes to sciences, they have specific requirements that the O-level curriculum supposed to have subjects like science subjects like biology, chemistry, physics. So these subjects with credit passes is compulsory, those who are going into engineering and science path. And the business, IT, and arts students can have 5 credits minimum to any subjects, 5 credits. That is a requirement. So that is for foundation. And next level is diploma. Diploma eligibility also happening from O-level. So those who have done O-levels with the minimum 3 credits, 3 C passes minimum in the O-levels, they can be entitled for diploma program. So like I mentioned, so each and every program, they have their specific criteria. When it's come to diploma in computer science, diploma in engineering, diploma in anything related to science, so they need to have specific subjects like maths and science. So these subjects credit passes are compulsory for each and every level. And next is bachelor's degree. Bachelor's degree can be entitled from A levels or coming from high school diploma, HND, coming from GED. So these kind of education levels can be entitled for to get into the degree first year. So well-known qualification is basically A-levels or A-level equivalent foundation program. So those who are coming from A-levels, the minimum requirement for most of the degree programs are 2 credits. Minimum 2 C passes is good enough to entitle for a bachelor's degree. However, there are specific majors require specific entry requirements. So for example, engineering, science specifically, so they require some of the compulsory subjects in the syllabus for A-levels. So master's programs are actually entitled by the degree. So those who have bachelor's degree with the minimum of 2.75 GPA and above can be entitled for a master's program in Malaysia. So there can be questions, right? I have done a bachelor's in engineering. Can I do an MBA? So I have done an MBA. Can I do a master's in education? So yes, you can. There are some of the conditions that you have to follow, which will be basically proposed by the university or the faculty when you do your assessment. So next, the final level is doctorate, which is PhD. So PhD students need to have a master's program or have to be a graduate from master's degree, and the GPA is supposed to be 2.75 and above. So those who are going towards the research PhDs, so they need to comply with the research proposal together with the academic documents. So these are the entry requirement for each level. So just to highlight this video, we are not going in detail about what are the specific majors require specific results. So it's always good to check with your counselor what are the specific requirements that you actually need to in order to get into the program that you wish. So the next thing we are actually going to cover about next, let's cover about the English proficiency test. Next, let's cover about the English proficiency test. All right, so this question is a lot of students are having some doubts, and maybe sometimes they don't understand, or sometimes they are confused with the details, I guess. So the question is whether if they require to go through any English proficiency exam in order to get into a Malaysian university. The answer is yes and no. So basically, yes, for the students who are coming from local curriculums, like for example, if they have completed the O-level and A-level from their local syllabus, from their local languages, they have to go through an English proficiency test. So this English proficiency test, it can be done in their home country, or they can come to Malaysia and they can enroll for an English program instead of registering for the main program. They can go through an English course or English program for 3 months, and they can take the exam after that, or they can also directly take the exam upon arrival. So however, we actually recommend for the students to take the English proficiency exam before arrival to Malaysia, so then they can enter for the degree or the main program directly. So what are the English proficiency tests that Malaysia do require? The first is IELTS. So IELTS is accepted, and number 2 is PTE is accepted, and lingua skill. So lingua skill may not familiarize with a lot of students. So lingua skill is one of the exam is under Cambridge, and finally is called MUAT, Malaysian University English Test. So those who are coming to Malaysia to do the English proficiency, so they can do the MUAT in their universities. If not, you can consider to do the IELTS, PTE, or lingua skill before arrival. So each and every level for the foundation, diploma, degree, masters, and PhD, they have their own level of English proficiency. So you have to check with your counselor what is your score you need to achieve in order to get into the main program. So this is for the students who does need English proficiency to get into the university. And those who do not want English proficiency are the students who are coming from English medium syllabus. Those who are coming from IGCSE, those who are coming from Edexcel, Cambridge, or anything English medium background, they can be exempted from English proficiency exams or English proficiency test. So it can be done from IGCSE students do not have to prepare any MOI letter. Those who are coming from English medium syllabus, they need to provide the MOI letter. It says medium of instruction letter to get them exempted from this English proficiency. So always make sure that you actually clarify about your English before you move forward with your application. So next, we are going to cover about the visa processing. So stay tuned. All right, so now we are going to talk about Malaysian student visa. So, as many of you knows, I believe that all of our audience knows about EMGS because we have repeatedly done so many videos about EMGS. So, just for the new audience or those who are listening to us maybe for the first time, so EMGS is actually a portal that actually governs the entire visa process on behalf of the student. It goes as Education Malaysia Global Services. So EMGS is a primary source for producing student visas. So they manage the entire visa application process. So according to EMGS, the student visa application process will take up to 3 to 4 weeks. That is the average timeline. Some cases it can be 4 to 6 weeks as well if the application have to go through submitting any additional documents. So the average timeline, it's good to keep about 30 working days to 40 working days to make sure that you don't have to go any um, unplanned events, like for example submitting additional documents, and it's going to delay your process and you end up having not to join for the event, the intake. So we always recommend the students to apply early as possible if you are sure with the university and the program. So then you have plenty of time for you to prepare very well for your arrival. So just to answer question, yes, your entire visa process is managed by EMGS, and most of the Malaysian universities are actually helping the students to apply for the student visa. So it's very convenient and very transparent process. So it will be done through the EMGS, and basically the approval process will take up to 3 weeks to 4 weeks average, and 4 to 6 weeks in some cases. So it's always good to have a minimum of 30 to 40 days timeline or time gap for your visa processing. So the next thing we are going to cover is age gap. So many people ask, I am this age, can I apply for this program? And some people ask, do Malaysia accept age gap? So when it's come to entry requirements in the universities, they do not clearly mention about any specific age to entitle for a program. So it's not a compulsory requirement to comply with when it's come to age gap. But sometimes you need to justify your age in particular program. Like for example, if you are going for a pre-U program, which is foundation, and if you are close to 30, you may have to give a justification why you have to take this particular program. So likewise, in some cases, you might have to justify your age, but however, in generally, for get admission from universities, there's no specific entry requirement set by the age. So everybody can try to apply, but in some cases, depending on the universities, they might ask you a justification about particular reasons why you want to apply in this particular age. So you need to have a good justification from your side. It's always good that if you have working experiences to justify that you joined the workforce earlier and you miss your education. So then it is something that's very justifiable answer. So age gap is not compulsory requirement to comply with, but however, make sure if you are applying to a university and if you have a big age gap with your academics, make sure that you actually have enough evidence to support your application when it's come to the university and admission process. So right now, I think we covered some of the most crucial points. So now we are going to cover about the living cost and also the accommodation. So I believe that living cost and the accommodation is something that we do not want to give specific numbers, because each and every student have their own kind of living conditions and lifestyles choices. So we are just trying to give you some of the tips that I believe that it will be helpful for you to organize your finances before you come off. All right, so now we are going to cover about the validity of the student pass. So usually Malaysian student pass is usually governed by 12-month cycle. So it's 1 year student visa, 1 year multiple entry. So whichever the program you are applying for, always your student visa approval letter, we call it eval. So eval will be come out for 1 year, which is for 12 months. So every end of the cycle, you need to contact your university, the visa team, and you need to submit your passport for the renewal. So they will advise you to submit your passport 3 months earlier to your visa expiry date. So you need to follow their advice and you need to submit your passport 3 months early to your expiry date. So the two answers precisely. So most of the time, the Malaysian student visa is going through a 12-month cycle. So it's every 12 months renewal. Like for example, a degree student, if the degree program is 3 years, there are 3 renewals throughout the program. So the first EVA they will get for first year and need to do a renewal for second year, and third year there's one more renewal. So every 12 months they will have a renewal, but not to worry, students, your renewal will be done by the campus. All you have to do is to follow their instructions, go and submit your passport on time to the visa officer. They will be taking care of your renewal process. All right, so we have come to an end of this video. Before we finish the video, just like we promised earlier, we do have an announcement to make for masters and PhD students, those who are looking for postgraduate studies. So we do have 100% tuition fee waiver at the moment for masters and PhD students, those who are looking for research-based programs. This 100% tuition fee waiver is actually available in a university called Inti International University. So there are terms and conditions that we actually would like to clarify from our side before we actually move forward with the application, because we want the students to understand A to Z process about this 100% tuition fee waiver. So having said that, for postgraduate students and undergraduate students, those who have more questions, and also those who have some confusions about the details, we encourage them to contact with us. We are actually one of the leading placement centers to study Malaysia. We are ISEF accredited education agency, and also we have more than 45 Malaysian university partnerships. So get in touch with us. We are more than happy to educate you, consult you, and the good news is our consultation, counseling services, everything is 100% free of charge. So do join with us if you have any questions. And having said that, thank you for watching the video, and we are looking forward to bringing in more details about Study Malaysia. Till then, take care.